So if you're a filmmaker that's been let down by cast and crew in the past, you'll understand where I'm coming from with this particular story. So if you're a filmmaker with limited resources, you've got to be prepared for your actors and your crew letting you down. Now this happened more than once on my film Melanie's Grave, which is actually out on the 27th of September on Amazon Prime, so please look out for it. So I've got several stories to tell about this, but the people that you hire often let you down, and this happens more than you think on very low budget or no budget films. In this case, it was actors wanting to change the schedule. So the original actress who played Zoe, the social worker, who was called Bridget, called me after I'd spent months arranging the schedule for the shoot to say that it didn't suit her. Now this isn't just a schedule we're talking about. All other documents are created from this schedule, including call sheets, sides, risk assessments, insurance, catering, plans, not to mention the knock-on effect for other cast and crew members. Now, there's many different documents which contain similar information. You change one and you've got to change them all. So she wanted to swap 2 weekdays for a weekend because she would lose, according to her, £600 if any work happened to come up during the week. Now she didn't have any work scheduled, it was just in case something came up. Now she was a substitute teacher, so yeah, I kind of get it, you can get called up at the last minute. But she's giving me this information months and months after she's been cast and knows that I'm compiling the schedule. I'd given her the block of shoot days weeks in advance so she knew when we were shooting. If she was available only weekends, then she should have made that clear from the get-go. So I know what you're thinking, your film is not paid and she has to pay the bills. Yeah, I get that, but please tell me in advance. Tell me when you're not available. It's simple and no one gets messed around. You know, this is amateur filmmaking, but you don't have to behave like an amateur. So I changed the schedule for her. It took me 2 whole days to update every other document, and I just got it finished and all printed out, and I had copies for all of the cast and crew, every single member that was working on the film. And the original actor who played Rob, a guy called Mickey, messaged me to say that he'd been offered 2 roles that clashed with my film. So one of them, he said, was in Sheffield. So we're shooting in the northeast, so he said this job was available in Sheffield. But according to him, obviously he turned it down. So why mention it at all? Well, that was because he was softening me up for the next part. He was like, oh yeah mate, obviously I turned it down, but then goes on to say that he really wants to work on this other one, which is scheduled during my film. But he's telling me it's in the evening, like that makes a difference. So I told him that I needed him from 8 till 8 that particular day. Now apparently it was a theatre production company that he wanted to make connections with and definitely wanted to do it. So as you can imagine, I wasn't best pleased that I had to change stuff again. So changed it, sorted it out, but that meant more work for the crew on that particular day because there was then more changes to make to accommodate kind of getting all of his scenes done as soon as possible. But it kept him on board because I did have the feeling that he was going to pull out in favour of this other production. So this kind of thing has happened quite a lot in some of my previous films because you can't compete with more prestigious roles and the roles that actors and crew think is going to advance their careers, and your low budget or unpaid film doesn't count. It's frustrating, so my advice would be to check out who you're hiring before you hire them, and if that means contacting previous producers that they've worked with, then by all means do that. If previous producers have been messed about, and the chances are you are going to be messed about. So if you want to hear more about all the problems that I had making Melanie's Grave and all of the good things that I experienced making Melanie's Grave, then please check in with all the other videos that I'm going to be making in the future and check out the ones that I've previously made. And also keep an eye out for Melanie's Grave when it is released on September the 27th on Amazon Prime and a whole host of other platforms.